And welcome back everyone to the series Eating Smart Being Active. My name is Ana Ferreras. I am the SNAP nutritionist from the Hispanic Health Council, and today my coworker.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yesenia Tucios. I'm a SNAP nutrition educator at the PANA program here at the Hispanic Health Council.
So good morning and welcome one more time to this series. So our last lesson we discussed how being physically active in a regular basis can help us to reduce the risk of certain diseases and also help us to maintain a healthy weight, improve our mood and sleep, and give us more energy. So I want to ask you a question. Does anyone did practice the exercise that we share with you in the link? Any one of you did practice the exercise? If anyone did it, just let me know because now we're gonna share with you a new one, okay? We're gonna share with you a new link with the exercise that you're going to practice for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be exercise that you can do it standing or sitting down, okay? In the chat, you're gonna find the link and also in this page. And also we're going to share some recipes during this week, okay? So today we're going to talk about, our lesson for today is plan, shop, and save. Plan, shop, and save. So making changes to things we do or how we do can be difficult. In each lessons, we're going to try to set goals. I want you to think about the goals that we can make for everything that we're going to learn. So sometimes you will achieve your goals and sometimes you may not. So the important thing is to review your goal and to try again. So today's lesson is about planning and shopping for meals and snacks so that we can have healthy meals and save money. For example, some people write a menu for several days or a week and then shop for the meals, and others buy the food that they like, and also they plan before just the preparation. So anyone is different in planning.
That's right, Anna. So planning meals can help us stretch our food dollars and make healthy food choices. So today's class, we're going to discuss why and how we plan meals. So let's just kick off this presentation, and I'm going to ask icebreaker question, and our participants online, they are so welcome to comment on the chat. Anna, what is something that you like? How do you prepare meals like in advance, or what is something that you do to help you plan meals ahead? And if our participants can also share with us, we're also going to be reading your comments.
For example, when planning my meals, now that it's coming Thanksgiving, I count my guests if I'm receiving any guests, and I want to plan ahead of time. And let me tell you, I already did my shopping. I like to plan ahead of time and, to do my list and do it according to the people that we are going to serve. What about you? Any one of you? If you want to share with us also? What about you? What do you like to do when planning and shopping?
Well, something that I do regularly, I prepare like big batches of certain foods. Like, for example, beans. I'll do a really big pot of beans, and then I'll divide those into containers that I can freeze. I will freeze some of those beans. So when the days come that I'm preparing maybe a little bit of rice, a little bit of chicken, or a little bit of steak, I can always defreeze those beans and reheat them. They're already prepared. So it definitely saves me time. And that's something I do to help me plan meals ahead.
Excellent. Good.
So planning helps us save time because we are more likely to have all the foods needed for meals and snacks, so we can avoid last minute trips to the grocery store. And by planning ahead, we can save money by taking advantage of weekly specials and coupons. All right. Using a grocery list while shopping also helps us save money because we are less likely to buy foods that we don't need. All right. So careful planning helps us use food dollars wisely and be more likely to have money for food all month. And we are more likely also to eat healthy foods when we think about what we'll prepare for meals and snacks ahead of time.
Yes, but let me tell you that you can use those steps when planning your meals and snap. Keep a list of your favorite meals that your family like. Use them often, but not so often that your family get bored. That's one.
Okay, so another thing is that we can make a list of meals and snacks you would like to prepare for your family for the week.
And also, you can use the current store flyers. The flyers help you to, see what food are on sale. Also, it can help you to find out which fruit and vegetable are in season, which usually cost less.
That's right. Also, making grocery stores, also, some grocery stores have these mobile apps that list the sale items and provide electronic coupons. I'm a big fan of those. So if you have a smartphone, you could check the app store for apps of your favorite stores. And I'll give you guys a tip. If you buy the newspaper on Sundays, there's also manufacturing coupons there for food items. You compare them with the store coupons and you'll save more on your grocery bill.
Excellent. And also you can check your refrigerator, your freezer and cupboards to see if you already have some of the food items needed for the meals or snack that you are planning. So mark the items that you have off the list and use the oldest food first.
All right. And make a grocery list. We will talk about how to do that next.
For example, grocery store flyers are placed outside in the grocery store or in the front every week to advertise sales on food that are, for the during the week that are on sale. So you can get those store flyers in the store, in the newspaper, or you can view also online. You can find them online as well. And they are very helpful when planning meals, okay? It helps you to save money. So follow this step when doing a grocery list.
Okay. So on the grocery shopping list, you write down the foods needed for your family's meals and snacks for the week. If you use recipes for any of these meals and snacks, have them in front of you. And don't forget staples such as milk and bread.
And for the items on the list, write down the amount that you need to buy to determine, how much or if food you're going to buy. So check the recipes if you're gonna follow a recipe. If you're going to double your recipe, of course, you're gonna need to buy twice as much of the ingredients. If you're going to do the half of the recipe, then you need to buy half of the ingredients.
Also, check your refrigerator, your freezer, and your cupboards. Cross off the items you already have in hand.
And be sure to take your grocery shopping list with you and a pen and the coupons with you.
And eat a snack, a meal before you go to the grocery store, because shopping when you're hungry, well, when you're not hungry, will help you stick to your grocery shopping list.
And children are more likely to eat meals and snacks that they have helped plan and prepare. So try to involve your kids in planning and shopping and preparing meals.
All right, Anna, let's have another little icebreaker question here. I'm going to call it more like a confession time. I want you guys to let us know if you've been guilty of doing this. I know I have before, but Anna, go ahead and tell us why we shouldn't go shopping when we're hungry. If you guys can, go ahead and tell us, let us know in the chat box if you've done this before and maybe you didn't know this.
Exactly. Let me tell you that why we should eat before going shopping, because if you don't eat, you go with instant gratification thinking. Like you're going to be impulsive, buying extra food that you don't need. It is not in the list because you are hungry, So impulsive buying a snack and other, things for instant gratification. So it's very important, yes. So another way we can save money at the grocery store is to buy store brands instead of national brands. Let me show you here. Let me see. Can you see here? Here I
Turn
have,
the can around, Anna, a little
yeah,
bit. There we go.
I have this store brand, which is a Stop and Shop brand. This is a canned black beans. And let me tell you that it cost me 79 cents. What about you?
Oh my goodness, Anna. Well, I have a Goya black beans right here, can the same size, it seems, as the one you have. And I actually paid 99 cents for this bad boy.
Well, let me tell you that store brands, as I show you, cost less. Okay, are less expensive and it's almost most of the time the same quality as national brands, like the one that we see Goya or international brands. So this is a way to save. I save 20 cents because my canned beans, black beans, cost me 79 cents, and for her it was 99 cents or a dollar. So I save. If you're going to buy a lot of items, uh, you're gonna see the difference by choosing the store brand instead of international brands. Okay, but anyway, you have to compare, because sometimes those international brands or national brands are cheaper. Okay, so you compare because sometimes they are on sale.
Awesome. So let's talk about food labels, Anna. Let me ask our participants if go ahead and share with us in the chat. And Anna, I'm going to ask you first. What is the first thing you check in a food label? When you go to the grocery store, you're picking out a food item, you turn it around. What's the first thing you go to check?
Well, the first thing that I check on is the ingredient list. And if I see in the ingredient list that it has hydrogenated fat, which is a bad fat for our heart, then I don't like those kind of produce. What about you? What is the first thing that you look on the food label?
So the first thing I check in that food label is how much sodium, how much salt is in that food. So I have a couple of family members that they have high blood pressure. So that's definitely something that I want to look, I want to kind of look out for, and not just for myself, but also for my family.
Yes, very important. So any one of you that want to participate, what is the first thing that you look in the food label? You can share with us, okay?
All right. So food labels have useful information that can help us make healthy food choices. And it's an important part. It's food labels, it's the nutrition facts labels, which is on all packaged foods. So an example of a nutrition facts label for, let's say, a brand cereal with raisins, like we see right here on the visual. The nutrition facts label has many parts, and we're going to talk about some of them today, right?
Yes. So let me tell you that the first part that you see here in this label, the first part that we have to look at is the serving sizes. Serving sizes are standardized, and this means that the serving size for similar produce that this one that we have here, which is a cereal, is usually the same. They're gonna use like the same for cereals. 1 cup, for example. We see here the serving size, they use 1 cup. Okay, this make it easy to compare similar food. So pay close attention to the serving sizes. Okay, the serving size on the label may be different for another kind of food. They can use, for example, 1 teaspoon. They can use 1 pound or half pound, different, but for this one they use 1 cup, the serving size.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
So
But before, let me tell you something about the serving size as well. If you were to eat, for example, this amount of cereal, then you will need to multiply. If you're gonna eat this amount twice, you have to multiply by 2 the serving size. Yep. So you can find out the amount of nutrients in that cereal. On the other hand, if you're going to eat half of the cereal, list in this food label, then you have to divide it by 2. For example, if you're going to eat half cup, then you're gonna get 95 calories from this cereal.
awesome. So you know what? Actually, Minky just shared with us that something that she checks on her nutritional facts label is the salt intake and the sugar intake.
Yeah.
And Surelis also checks for the added sugars on the food label in the back. And then Josefa also checks for she checks for calories, salt, and sodium.
Excellent.
Yeah. So going back to what you were saying, Anna, so that means that if we were to eat 2 servings, right, of this cereal right here, How many calories would I be eating?
Well, if you're going to eat 2 servings, which it is 2 cups, then it's gonna be 380 calories.
Wow.
Remember, you have to multiply by 2 the serving size because you are doubling the serving size.
Oh, okay, I see. So let's go ahead and talk about that percent daily value. All right. And this is the amount of nutrient in one serving of the food compared to the amount recommended for a 2000 calorie diet. You know, all food labels are based on a 2000 calorie diet unless otherwise specified. So percent daily value is a way to compare two different foods to tell which is higher or a lower in a particular nutrient. All right. So like, you know, we were to compare percent daily value of fiber in one serving or two different, you know, like cereals, you know. So it helps us determine if a food is higher in a nutrient. So a food is considered high in a nutrient if that nutrient has a percent daily value of 20 or more. So, you know, we have to look at the nutrition facts label here on the visual. So what would be the percent daily value of this brand cereal with raisins? For the fiber, Nana?
The fiber that I see here in this label, it is 16%.
16%. So it's a good source of fiber because it's closer to 20, no?
Yes, it is a good source.
Okay. So percent daily value also helps us know if a food is low in a nutrient. So a food is considered to be low in a nutrient if that nutrient has a percent daily value of 5% or less. So looking at the nutrition facts label on here on this visual, Anna, what is a percent daily value of total fat here?
Well, in this new label, we see here that the total fat is 18%. The pink row, you see that is the percentage value. So it's telling you that it's 18%.
Okay, and that would be pretty high, right? Because it's higher than that 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see here. All right.
So remember that every day we should get enough of these nutrients that you see here. You should get dietary fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium more than 20% and up. That's what our bodies need. Those are the nutrients that we need every day. And remember, however, to limit those nutrients that you see here, the total fat, the saturated fat, the trans fat, the sodium, the sugar, and the added sugar. Those nutrients should be 5% or less. Okay, every day you should look at the nutrient fat label and then check that those nutrients should be 5% or less, okay? And also, sometimes those nutrients are listed in grams or milligrams, okay? Which are a very small measure of weight, okay?
All right. So in the spring of 2016, a new version of the nutrition facts label was released. And the label on the visual right here, that's the new label. But it's important to understand that we're going to see both the new and the old on foods at the grocery store while this transition is still taking place.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about unit pricing, Anna.
yeah.
Unit pricing is the cost per ounce or other unit of measure. And it's usually listed, right, on the shelf below the food at the supermarket, right?
Yes, and an example of unit pricing, for example, it could be the price per gallon of gasoline. So the price per gallon is the unit price, while the price of the entire tank of gas is the total price, okay? So unit pricing compares only price, not quality. And the unit price tells us which item is cheaper. So if you're going to use the unit pricing, you can compare the price of two different products, whether they are different sizes or different form. For example, you can take a cheese, a block of cheese, and compare with a different brands, a shredded cheese.
Okay, so some stores don't post the unit price of their foods on the store shelves. So in this case, it's important to know how to calculate the unit price. So this is something you can do using the cell phone, your cell phone, your smartphone. You can use a calculator there. If not, you can bring a small calculator with you when you're going food shopping, so you can calculate the price of the unit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we're looking at a unit price of a large can of tomatoes right here, it costs $1.49, right? And then it has 29 ounces. We divide $1.49 into these 29 ounces. So we will see that we will find out that it's 5 cents per ounce, right, on this can.
Mm-hmm. And then if you take a smaller a can of tomato, which it costs 79 cents, but the total ounces is 15 ounces, you're gonna divide the total price, the total cost, 79 cents by the 15 ounces, and then you find out that the unit price is 5.3 cents per ounce. Okay, so you are paying a little bit more. This is a way of using unit pricing for saving, but it is important to understand that you should only buy the larger package of food if you are going to use it all. Because buying the larger package of food, because the unit price is smaller, then it's not using, but not using everything, actually gonna cost you more money because you are wasting, food. You are throwing food that you're not gonna use it. So sometimes it makes sense to buy a smaller container, even when it costs more per ounce, because you don't need the larger amount, okay? So it's very important to take that in consideration when you're gonna use the unit price for saving. Okay, let's do a quick review. So remember that when shopping, when planning, write down all food needed for meals and snacks for the week. And don't forget the staple food like bread and milk.
Okay, you want to write down the amount needed for each food next to that food on the list.
And also check for food already on hand in the refrigerator, freezer, and pantry, and cross off the items that you already have on hand.
Bring your list and a pen when you go to the grocery store, and don't forget those coupons you plan on using.
Yes, and don't shop while hungry. If you go grocery shopping when you're hungry, you are more likely to buy food not on the list.
That's right. So to keep food safe when shopping, you can use these tips. So don't buy cans that are leaking, bulging, rusting, or contain dents, especially if the dent is on any of the can seams. All right.
Yes, and buy only the amount of food that you need. While buying in bulk may save you money, you won't save money if you are going to throw off the food away.
When you get home, put the refrigerator and the frozen foods away first.
And if you don't plan to eat meat, poultry, or fish within 2 days of buying it, put it in the freezer.
Don't store foods or drinks in glazed pottery that was made outside of the United States, because this pottery often contains lead, which can leak into your food. And we know that high amounts of lead can be poisonous.
And also remember, the expiration date as well. And also read the label, the nutrition fat label for making healthy food choices. Start by reading the serving size and number of servings per container.
That's right. You want to also check the calories per servings, right?
Yes, and also you look at the nutrient list on the label. Look for the fat, cholesterol, sodium, fiber, protein, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium.
And aim to get 20% of the percent daily value of fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. Yep.
And remember to limit fat, sodium, and added sugar to no more than 5%. Okay?
Okay, so while food shopping, compare the nutrition facts labels when choosing foods. Remember that you're going to see two different versions of the nutrition facts label in the stores.
Excellent. So thank you so much for your participation. Any question, please feel free to write it down in the chat. Okay. Write down any question. We're going to stay here for a couple of minutes and we're going to answer you back at any moment. Okay. Also, I'm going to post immediately we finish in our group the link for the exercise that we are going to practice during the next 2 weeks. Does anyone practice the last link that we post in the chat? Let me know if you practice. I did the exercise, which it was like a 15 minutes video exercise and it was really easy. But now we are going to provide another link that you are going to practice at home for during those 2 weeks. And there are also standing and sitting down exercises in the video. So try to take advantage. Okay, I'm going to post in the chat as well and in the page. Remember that the next class is going to be December 1st. December 1st at the same time with an interesting topic as well. So any question?
Anna, what would be like a goal that maybe you're going to set yourself for these next 2 weeks after this lesson?
Well, very important. Remember that we are going to set goals. Yes, one goal for me will be, for example, I want to try from now on to compare food. You know, to use more the nutrition fact label by comparing two versions of the same food and choosing the best option. What about you or any of you in the chat?
I think I'm going to be comparing food items in the grocery store, like national brand versus supermarket brands. I'm going to be doing some of that. And I'm also going to be looking, like when I go shopping, I'm going to do that whole taking all the ingredients that I'm going to use for the meals just to see what I have in hand and avoid buying something that I might not need, for that week.
Exactly. Excellent. So any one of you in our participants, please share with us what goal are you planning to do after this lesson? Okay, set your goals. Remember, sometimes you can achieve it, sometimes not, but you have to try and try again and review your goals.